Welcome to the Alpha Girl Confidence Podcast, where we are empowering youth female athletes to play and live confidently. My name is Shay, and each week I will bring you new episodes to teach you the strategies and tools that you need in order to live a confident, empowered life both on and off the playing field. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. So on today's episode, I want to talk about why you're so stuck in negativity and why it's so hard for you to get into positivity, and also how you can get into the positive mindset. So first, you have to understand that our human brains are naturally wired to focus more so on the negative. It's a lot easier for us to focus on the negative than the positive, and there's a reason for that. Our brains are trying to protect us from harmful things, from things that it thinks can hurt us, can kill us, whatever it is, and those are the negative things. So naturally, our brains are going to be focusing on that rather than the positive. And especially in today's world with everything that's going on, the media is really also playing into that, trying to get you to focus on the negative, trying to get you to play into the fear, right? And we'll go into that a little bit more when we talk about how to get out of the negative mindset. But the other thing you have to realize is, think about it. After a game or a practice or something, what's easier to focus on? Is it easier to focus on the positive, or is it easier to focus on all the stuff you did wrong, right? Even if you only did one thing wrong and you did 10 things right, I guarantee you're going to be focusing on the things you did wrong, right? That's why you're listening to this podcast, because you want to get out of that. And you're not the only one that's struggling with this. There are so many girls, so many people in general that have such a hard time with focusing on and pulling out the one positive thing as opposed to the negative things, right? So I want to talk about how to get out of this negativity, right? With the world the way it is, it's so hard, but there's things that you can do that you do have control over, right? You don't have control over what's going on around you, but you do have control over your mindset, and you do have control over how you respond to those things. So the first thing when it comes to how to get out of that negativity is, my number one rule for me personally is I don't watch the news. I don't have any news apps on my phones. I don't get any notifications around the news. If there's something really important I need to know, I'm sure I'll see it on social media. I'm sure my family will tell me. I'm sure my friends will tell me. But I don't need to get constant updates about all of the stuff that's going on in the world. So number one is, don't watch the news. Don't put news apps on your phone, stuff like that, okay? Because that, as soon as you see that stuff, you're automatically thinking in the negative mindset. And for me, if you're someone that struggles a little bit with anxiety and being anxious, that is going to catapult your anxiety even more. So do not watch the news. That is number one. And number two is to express gratitude. I think sometimes we forget how great, how lucky we are and how blessed we are for the things that we have, right? When it's all this negative. Oh, I didn't play well. Oh, I didn't play enough, right? Well, be grateful for what you do have. You have 2 legs and you can run around and you can play, right? Be grateful for that. You have a roof over your head, right? You have a family, you have someone to feed you. Just be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that you are on a team. Be grateful that you have a place where you can actually play and have fun, right? So I know that those are extreme examples, but be grateful for the little things, right? So every day you should have some sort of gratitude practice, right? Do it in the morning, do it at night. But whenever you feel like it's going to work best for you, just write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, okay? Just get into the abundance mindset. Get into the mindset of hey, this is all the positive stuff that I have that I am going to show gratitude for because I'm lucky and I'm blessed to have this. And then number 3 is to look for the good. So to write down the good stuff that happened in your day. So I always do this with my girls. I do this with myself, is to write out your wins. Write out the things you're proud of. Write out the good things that happen in your day, right? So even if you had a horrible day, maybe you failed a test, maybe you got yelled at practice, maybe you had a horrible practice or a horrible game, there's still good things that you could pull out of your day. It doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be big, just like the gratitude, but instead of focusing on the negative, pull out the good stuff, right? So this is especially good after a practice or a game, because a lot of times you're focused on the negative after a practice or game instead of the good. So as soon as you get in the car, put in your notes in your phone or have a little notebook somewhere, but write down like 2 or 3 good things that you did well in your practice. It could even just be that you had fun, that you worked hard, that you made a good pass, that you had a good time and had a good conversation with your teammate, right? So pull out the good, get rid of the bad. And just remember that I'm not saying to like not ever think about the bad stuff you didn't practice, because it's important to take that, to look at it and to kind of reflect on what it was so that you can get better from it. So that's definitely something you can pull from is the mistakes and the negative, but use that to your advantage, right? So think about the negative for a sec. Think about what could I do better? Learn from it, let it go, and then focus on the positive. Otherwise, you're just getting in this constant negativity cycle. And when you get in that cycle, you can't focus on the good. And the more you focus on the negative, you're going to beat down your confidence. And it's going to be really hard to get out of the negative once you are in it. So get it real quick out, think about it, get better from it, and then time to focus on the positive. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If it helped you, please share it with a friend, share it with a teammate. And also, I would really appreciate it if you would just take 2 minutes, go to iTunes and write an honest review so that I can continue to grow the show and help more girls just like you. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on next week's episode.